Well, hi again, everybody. Let's talk some football. Let's talk Robert E. Lee High School football as the Red Raiders continue on in District 12 5A. Still looking for that first district win, and they've got a very tough assignment coming up on Friday night against a good team from Mesquite. In Mesquite at E.H. Hanvey Stadium. The Red Raiders are coming off the Rockwall game this past Friday night. A tough night for Robert E. Lee. They lose 40-0. Now, we'll get to some video of that game coming up in just a moment, but Coach Darrell Piske is with us. Just overall, that game started out, you made a couple of first downs, and I recall the sequence, and then the drive stalls, and then you get a bad punt. One thing leads to another, and it's over.
Kind of atypical of how things have been going, and knowing, I was pretty excited at first, really the whole first half, and a lot of the football game. They didn't stop us. We stopped us with just little mistakes at the wrong time. Offensively, you kind of got to have 11 guys that do their job every play, or things don't work out the way they're drawn up. Whereas defensively, if you just have one kid make a great play, things can work out for you. And so that's the frustrating part, is the consistency, which just comes from the little details. Always learn how to pay attention to little details, and having pride in what you do every play of every snap. Like we were talking about earlier, it's such a small detail that people think, but if a kid misses the trash can with a piece of paper, have enough pride and discipline, turn around, stop, pick that piece of paper up, and it just comes from time of us staying on top of those guys on those things, and then we'll develop those little habits that lead to success.
In a game like Friday night, when something negative happens early, and Gloomy Caba's been very good for you this year, but he happened to hit a short punt early in the ball game. They get the ball at the 40-yard line, and if your team hasn't been winning, do you sense that sometimes they go, here we go again?
Well, you don't sense it, you know it. Because it happens. It doesn't just happen at Robert E. Lee. It happens all over the.
Right. It can happen to anybody.
In
life,
right. It happens to people in baseball teams, tennis teams, whatever. When you've been down and you continue to be down, everybody thinks that good Lord's against them or something, and here we go again, and all that, and that's where you got to develop that character, that mental attitude that just, you got to learn to forget things and have a short memory. I think after a while of failing, you think that you're failing when really you're just not trying is the failure. You're going to go out and have times when you don't succeed, and that's not failing. Being a failure is not going out there and attempting something, and so that's the thing we got to overcome. And if I knew there was a magic potion that you could just make them put in their water.
I was going to say, you can make a lot of money off of that, couldn't you?
Yeah, but it just takes time. And these seniors, I talked to them on Saturday. They've had 3 head coaches in their 4 years, and so getting the unity and the bond and all that together, it takes time. And then just developing, what I believe, and everybody's got a different potion to success, and to be able to develop what I believe and instill it in the kids, it just takes time. And I appreciate these seniors just showing up, and they continue to show up and work hard and get after it. And like we explained to them on Saturday, that as long as we know you hadn't quit on yourself, we're not going to quit on you. We're going to show up every day, and when y'all told them Saturday, when they leave from watching this film, we're going to go in there and we're going to bust our tail as coaches to come up with try to put ourselves in the best position to win, and continue to battle every day, and that's what they got to do.
That's a good point you bring up, because I'm sure there are people out there who would look at your 1-6 and say, okay, that you've probably already written this year off, and you're already starting to think about 2013, and the seniors are just an afterthought at this point. Talk a little bit about.
Well, you can't do that. Really, football is the lab of life. It really is the greatest example in life of being able to learn things that are going to carry you in life. And you may have a kid someday. These guys are going to be fathers, which is a scary thought for some of them, but they're going to be fathers, and their kids are going to make mistakes. Their kids are going to screw up, and they can't give up on their kid. And so
that's the rules. You can't give up on your kid.
Well, that's right. Even though we want to a lot of times, but you look at it, and it's the greatest example of life there is. That's all you can do, is show up every day. You can do the best you can, and work as hard as you can, and believe in each other and trust each other. And that's what I was telling them Saturday. I said, it's important that you have each other's back, and you be teammates, and you care about each other. And really, more than watching film, we spent the whole time talking about You know, number one, I apologize, you know, that they've had 3 coaches in 3 years, but I explained to them that in life you can't do anything about some things. You just got to make the best of it and get after it. And I talked to them about the character and discipline. And the thing that disappointed me the other night, I've been beat 40-0 before, but it's when you get to personal fouls, you know, of hitting somebody inappropriately and doing things like that, that bothers me, because, you know, you're going to be frustrated at work sometimes. You know, I'm pretty frustrated when I go home. You don't go home and hit your wife or you know, beat your kids and do stuff like that. You just keep your nose to the grindstone and keep working. And, you know, we talked about, you know, having each other, support of each other,
right,
and learning how to be compassionate, you know, and caring about people. And sometimes, you know, I get emotional, and it's because that when you get old like me, you figure out what's really important, and teaching these guys that having compassion for other people, being supportive and thankful to the band and the cheerleaders and the pep squad, the guys and gals that support you, not just be arrogant and think you're entitled to that support, but be thankful for that support, and just learning, you know, how to be a team. And that's what we have to continue to work on and hammer in them, and work on these younger groups and make sure they've got it figured out. And you know, when we get all that put together, Greg and I were talking before the show about if somebody stood outside and paid attention with honest eyes, not the rose-colored glasses that a lot of us look through, but look with honest eyes and pay attention to small details all through a program, they'd know why they're not winning or why they were winning. And when you lose a lot, you develop losing habits. Just like when you win, you develop winning habits. And so you got to break those habits. And these guys, I'm proud of these seniors because they just keep showing up and they continue to try to break as many habits as they can. And you got to applaud them for that. You know, a lot of people in life hang it up. And, you know, that's why divorce rates are high and stuff like that.
Right, they give up.
They give up. And so these guys, I'm proud of them. I had one yesterday that really, he's not going to get to play this week. He got ejected last week, and it's not everybody's rule, but that's my rule. I don't want, you know, you should never come to a situation where you get thrown out of a football game. And you got to have more self-control than that. And you know what? He's out there at practice yesterday busting his tail, and I went and told him, I said, that means something to me to see a kid that knows I'm a senior, I'm not playing this week. The odds on the playoffs are slimmer and slimmer, but I'm going to show up and bust my tail. And he's out there at practice getting after it. So, you know, kids like that, you know, it means something to you. It's what it's all about in the end.
And I know you coaches, I mean, as much work as you put in, but you're still coaching kids, and you burn to give them something positive to end this season on, don't you?
Yeah, you want them something to end their life on.
Right.
I mean, you know, you want them to be able to take something they learned from this situation, as bad as it's been for them, to have some nugget that somewhere down the road in life when things aren't going right, they can draw on it, and they won't end up, you know, in a bad situation or you know, giving up on their kids or giving up on their wife or their family or things like that. And you know, the last thing we talked about on Saturday is I told the kids, I said, you know, here's what's really important in life. What do you want to be remembered as? You know, do you want to be remembered as a guy that cared about people and worked his tail off every day? And like you talked about Bill Bates, you know, former Cowboys, he wasn't the greatest athlete in the world, but Bill was a winner. He got out there and busted his tail and worked hard and overachieved. And I think, you know, he'll go down as a great individual as much as a great football player. And then you've got some other football players that were very gifted, and they won't be remembered as fondly as he was, just from his effort and attitude.
Before we look at the video, just let's talk some positives from Friday night offensively. What did you see that you liked?
You know, really outside, telling the O-line yesterday, outside of 3 plays, the O-line played their best game. You know, we of course, turned the guy loose on the 4th and 1, unblocked at point of attack. But outside of those 3 plays, I saw them using their hands. I saw them. We actually had a pancake. Zach Page had a pancake. We hadn't had any pancakes up to this point, and so they actually had.
Means
the
you got to put a guy on his back.
Yeah, that's right. You pinned him and put him on the ground and made him like it, and so, you know, really they improved and did well. Marcus White and Terrence and those guys running the ball, you know, they ran the ball hard. You know, Marcus is going to give you everything he's got. I mean, he's going to be a success in life just because he's got that winning mentality. He's just going to show up and get after it and be a football player. And so, That was probably the biggest highlight, was just seeing the improvement on the O-line, and the aggression that they showed was good.
Now, what about defense?
Defensively, our little young inside backers, of course, moved up to Derman kid, and he's going to be a good one. At first I think he was a little in awe of it's Friday night football and the speed of the game's quicker, but once he settled down, he did good. Sean Matthews continues to improve. Roderick Gaines, they're going to be good, especially with some time in the weight room and stuff. So I thought they got better, and then, the kids played hard. They tried to tackle till the end and got after it and did those things. You got D-line always gets after it and does, because they've got the wrath of Coach Reed on them. So they always play hard. And defensively, it was just mainly those young guys starting to get a little bit better at their reads and read them a little quicker and move a little quicker. We just got to, got to get more physical, and we got to have some good weight room time just to get stronger, where those guys like the Warren kid don't run through you.
Yeah, and he was pretty good too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was everything that I thought he was. Yeah. I mean, he's special. He's patient on the zone. He's strong enough to know that a little arm tackle is not going to bring him down, so he can be patient at point of attack and stay up in there and then just work the pile. And then, when you do that enough, then you're going to get to big gains later on.
Before we look at the video, folks are going to ask this question. LaQuintus Wallace, 1 carry, 2 yards, limped off the field. What's LaQuintus' status?
Well, really, it's kind of on LaQuintus. That's where we are. I just believe if you don't show up every day and work hard and practice and get after it, then no matter how much talent you got, your teammates that show up and work hard every day, they're the ones that have to get out there. And LaQuintus has battled some nagging injuries. I don't know how bad they are. Only he does. And I'm not in his mind, so I don't know. All I can judge it on is if you show up hard and work hard every day, then you're going to get a chance to carry the football. If you protect the ball and don't turn it over, if you don't, then you're not. So it's kind of, you got to earn that deal, and only a kid, each of us individually are the only ones that can tell if what's really going on with us, or we're really hurting and stuff like that. Right now we've got Marcus and LaTerrence. They show up every day and get after it, and they've been getting in the football game. LaQuintus has got a lot of talent, a lot of ability, and things of that nature. But you gotta learn that if I don't show up every day and work hard, then I'm not going to be as productive for my team on Friday night as I need to be.
All right, fair enough. Let's roll the tape and see some of the positive plays from the Rockwall game on Friday night. And Coach, we start, and they've got the football.
Yeah, they run a little option play right there, and that's Roderick Gaines, inside linebacker. Really, we're going to have to get a bigger screen. My eyes not getting any older. But
that is a wide shot, isn't it?
There you go.
There you go. That's a closer look at it. All right.
But the option, you got to really be disciplined, take care of responsibility, and kids did a good job.
One thing people don't understand about the modern spread offense, a lot of it is just the veer. Right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you got your wing tee, your veer, all that stuff. It's just out of a spread look. So, Spencer did a good job there of going to his pitch, and quarterback turned it up, and inside backer and safety fit where they're supposed to fit. Should get 2 angles on these, this wide angle. That's Spencer Bohr there making a play there.
He's had a nice season for you, too.
Done a good job staying at home, and they got the Wildcat look there with 25 and 22 in there and just running the zone. He's reading it and thought he had a good read, and Spencer fought off the block, made the play.
Who was that on the edge there?
Spencer Bohr.
Yeah. And he's not a big guy either, is he?
No. He's he's worked hard and done a good job getting his body in shape. And I'll have to wait to tight to see that. That's one of those defensive ends, Edom or Keith Anderson.
Edom is a junior too.
Yeah.
Edom Asaganasi.
Yep, I've
you just call it Edom,
right there off the edge on this side, and Edom on the far side. Kind of just one of them meeting in the middle things.
Be great to have Delkey back next year, but you don't. He's a senior.
He's
right?
a senior. He's a senior. He's a good kid. He comes in off and shoots the bull pretty regularly, but he's a good kid, and that's Sean Matthews at linebacker there. That's Roderick Gaines running through along with Del Key again.
Gaines is a sophomore, and the Matthews kid who you mentioned a moment ago is a junior.
Mm-hmm. Again, that's a good job staying at home. And then just the pursuit. I mean, if you look, there's all but one red jersey, and he's trying to get there. And so, you know, that's what they're doing a good job of, is just flying to the football. Right now we may, you know, be young in some spots and not reading things quick enough and doing all that, but just a relentless pursuit to get to the football. That's Edom again, chasing him down, and he stays disciplined, stays upfield shoulder, and then lets his buddies come help him.
I was looking at the stats on the night. They didn't throw much. They did run the ball a lot, but they didn't throw much.
Yeah, they threw for 30-something yards. You know, on that back, he did a good job of just being patient. This first play here, just Marcus, you know, finding a good little crease. Lineman did a good job. Fullback, Manuel kicking the guy out.
It's Marcus again.
Marcus, right? Yeah, it's the same play, just tight version.
He had over 100 yards rushing in the game.
Yeah, he, you know, like I say, now a lot of it was on a play, the sprint out play. I don't think we put it on here, but that's Marcus again on the outside zone, just finding a crease and accelerating and going. He does a good job. Him and LaTerrence and, of course, LaQuintus, they all have good vision, which helps you out. That's Desmond Dunn coming to block off the edge out there. Marcus sees a crease, and you know, that's what the linemen are starting to figure out. If we can just get a body on the body and maintain our blocks, we got guys that can make cuts and do those kind of things. Again, that's Marcus. You know, it's 8 yards, and blocking on the edge is good.
The backs have to trust the hole too, don't they?
Yeah, you got to stay point of attack. There's a read, you know, progression on reads, what you got to do and what you have to look at. Once they learn to look at, you know, their read, then it kind of tells them whether they need to look for a cutback and stuff like that. And so that's Bryce Wilkerson in at the little Wildcat quarterback. Did a good job reading that. Little Bryce is quick as a cat.
There you go again, same play.
Yeah, same play. They're going to show a wide and a tight angle every time.
Injuries from the other night. Did he get hurt?
Yeah, he got a mild concussion, and so
he's out.
Well, he's, you know, going through the protocol that you have to do and all that. Got to be so many days symptom free and stuff like that before he can return. So he wasn't practicing yesterday for sure. So. That's Marcus, which, you know, if you got that right there, it means you got good blocking and good blocking off the edge.
Goal line stand here. I'm trying to remember the sequence here. If they ultimately scored,
they held them to a field goal, I believe.
Yeah, made it difficult on them.
And that's what the defense has done, you know, several times. They've you know, bowled their necks up and held them to a field goal, which is important. That was third down there in the hot route, and linebacker did a good job getting underneath it and tipping it. That's Roderick Gaines, I believe, on this side. CJ's on the far side.
Here's the same play again, right at the goal line. Again, forces them to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, that's right. Because, you know, you go in this, I think that made it 19-0 at half. You know, even when it got to be 16-0, we drove down the field and had the 4th and 1, and then turned the guy loose on the 4th and 1 play. You know, you score right there, then you go in at 16-7 at half. Whole different mentality coming out.
Back on defense.
You know, that's just a good job there. That's Teddy, I believe, Matlock, I think.
Outside backer, and he's a sophomore.
Yeah, that's right. That's the inside linebacker. see the tight view, but you got Sean Matthews and C.J. Bristol. That's Sean Matthews made that play. So
a couple more plays, and that'll end the sequence of highlights for this ball game, the Rockwall game for this past week. Good effort by the Red Raider defense.
That's good. You know, the front line, they're always making things happen up front. They do a good job, and if we can just get linebackers that can clean it up, you know, that'll help our defense and shore it up pretty good there. I believe that was Sean Matthews again.
Again, he's a junior linebacker. Raleigh Poster went out with what looked like an ankle. How's he doing?
He's going to be fine. I mean, there wasn't any damage or anything like that, just a sprained ankle. And so, you know, he didn't practice yesterday, but I see him out there today, probably moving around on it. And
so you think he'll play in the Mesquite game?
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, there's no damage or anything, no swelling at all or anything like that. So he should be ready to go.
All right, Mesquite 8-0. They have been consistently the best team in the district so far this year, and they look like a very, very good football team.
Yeah, they you know, offensively got that quarterback that can just fly and can throw it, and you know, got the running back, the Sessions kid. I think he talked about it, be back this week, and you know, they're very good offensively, and that dual threat quarterback, you know, everybody we play, you know, they've either got a running back that carries the football team, kind of like that little Rockwall kid, or they got a quarterback that's a runner and a thrower. And so this one's a runner and a thrower, and they got a good running back, so that makes them really explosive offensively. And then defensively, boy, I tell you what, they are quick. They use their hands. Yeah. You know, we spend a lot of time going back and forth, trying to figure out what they base out of and stuff because they're so multiple. But, you know, I think they're 4-2-5. They like to have a four-man front. But, boy, they fly the football and they use their hands and they tackle well. And you were saying there's a secondary kid that
Kennedy. Yeah.
Kennedy that
may be back this week.
Make his debut this week. And I thought you was wrong because I saw their secondary. I mean, they look really good with what they have, and know they're going to add one like that. So it'll be a big challenge, but you know, that's what our guys have been facing, you know, for a good while now. Is just knowing, hey, I got to just go out there. It's about executing. It's about, you know, even offensively the other night, if we just can stay consistent with our execution, we drive down the score on those drives. You can't have that one play where somebody forgets to, you know, makes the wrong call and leaves somebody unblocked and things like that. And so, you know, that's what we're going to focus on.
2 years ago, they went 1-9. So
yeah. They're not going to win.
Yeah. I know, but it can. I mean,
oh, yeah.
For those, if you're down about things right now, all it takes is a little bit, and things can get a lot better.
And there's signs of that, you know, all over the place. You know, guys that have been down that come back up, and it just takes really takes a lot of time to. It's the mental part. You know, early in the year we talked all the time about, you know, we've got it physically. What concerns me is the mental part, because you know you don't really get to see it coming in late in the spring and doing all that. And so now through the games you start seeing it, and you know it's the mental toughness part, and the kids know it, and they know it's the little things they have to work on every day that's outside of football. Like we talked about a while ago, picking up trash off the floor, things like that. It's that stuff, and so, you know, they just show up every day and continue to try to improve in those areas, and then the wins will start coming.
Last couple of minutes that we have, the JV and freshmen, how are they doing?
The JV's 2-1 in district. Lost Mesquite Horn, but won their other two. They're 3-2 overall. I'm sorry, 4-3 overall. They've lost. I think they had a couple of games they've lost by 1 or 2 points and stuff, and so they've battled. They're doing good. Got a lot of good kids on there. The freshman group, the red team's 4-2 and 4-2-1. Their two losses. They had a 13-point lead in the fourth quarter, one of them, and a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter, the other one. And Lufkin, I think.
Painful. I got a kid on that team. That was painful.
You're there, and I think
them all.
I think in the Lufkin game they had a 14-point lead, fumbled 3 times in the fourth quarter, got beat 27-26.
Do you have to bring that up?
Their other loss, they fumbled. They had a 13-point lead against Texas High, fumbled twice in the fourth quarter, and got beat 24-22. So they're doing well. The JV, the freshman white team, I believe, is undefeated. So. they're doing good. So it's good, those guys are getting a taste of victory down there, and just know that we got to continue to work to improve and not be satisfied with having a good freshman year, and we'll be fine.
The coaches work awfully hard at those levels too, don't they?
Yeah, that's one thing that we're doing that probably not a lot of people are doing, is our varsity staff goes out with the freshmen every day, and we're going out with the JV during the period and working with the JV and making sure those young guys are getting the work they need, and then you go out after school and work with the varsity. So they're earning their keep. All
right, great opportunity this week. I mean, even though Mesquite's state ranked and undefeated, I mean, this is an opportunity. Upsets happen every week at all levels of football, don't they?
It's right. That's why they play it, and they don't just say, hey, Mesquite's 8-0 and you're 1 and whatever you are. We'll just meet at CC's and call it a game or something. But no, it's always, and that's what these kids have to understand, is these seniors especially, I'm running out of opportunities. I mean, none of them's guaranteed a chance to go and play college football. So they've got three more chances that are guaranteed to really make the memories that all of us old people can tell them. Whether you played college football, whatever, you always sit around and talk about your high school days. And so they've got 3 more of those weeks to make those memories and make some of them good memories.
All right, Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
The Red Raiders, again, the Friday night game is at E.H. Hanby Stadium. It's on the Mesquite High School campus, and that game will kick off at 7:30. Again, there are 3 weeks left in the season. The final home game is coming up in early November against Longview. That'll be the last home game, and then a final road game at Rockwall Heath. So the Red Raiders looking to get that win this week against the Mesquite Skeeters, and again a 7:30 kickoff at E.H. Hanby Stadium coming up on Friday night. The Red Raiders deserve and need your support as they work their way through the 2012 season. For Coach Piske, I'm Bill Coates. Thanks for joining us.